Welcome to this comprehensive step-by-step guide on how to cut and install floor tiles like a pro. Whether you're a beginner tackling your first DIY project or an experienced installer looking to improve your technique, this video will walk you through every stage of the process, from surface preparation to the final cleanup, with clear instructions and useful tips along the way. So grab your tools, put on your safety gear, and let's get started. The first and most important step in any tile installation project is proper preparation. Before you even think about opening a box of tiles, you need to prepare your work area. Start by clearing the room of all furniture and obstructions. Make sure the surface where you'll be installing the tiles is clean, flat, dry, and free of any debris or dust. Use a vacuum to clean thoroughly, and if there are any bumps or uneven areas, use a floor scraper, grinder, or leveling compound to smooth them out. This step is crucial to ensure that your tiles bond correctly and last for many years without cracking or shifting. Once the floor is clean and level, it's time to plan your layout. This step might not seem that exciting, but trust me, it's one of the most important parts of a professional tile job. Use a measuring tape, chalk line, and square to find the center of the room and draw reference lines. These will serve as your guides to keep the tiles straight and symmetrical as you work. Planning your layout in advance also helps you avoid awkward, thin cuts along the walls or around fixtures. Try to dry lay a few rows of tiles before applying any adhesive, just to get a feel for how the layout will look. Now we move on to cutting the tiles. This is where precision really matters. For straight cuts, a manual tile cutter will work just fine. Place the tile on the cutter, score it once along the marked line with consistent pressure, and then snap it cleanly. For more complex cuts, like curves, corners, or holes for pipes, you'll need a wet saw or an angle grinder with a diamond blade. Always wear safety glasses and gloves when cutting tiles, especially with power tools, and work slowly to avoid chipping the tile edges. Don't forget to double-check your measurements before making any cuts. It's always better to measure twice and cut once. With your tiles now cut and ready, it's time to prepare the tile adhesive. Depending on your preference and the type of tile, you can use either a pre-mixed adhesive or mix your own using powdered thin-set mortar. Follow the manufacturer's instructions to get the right consistency. It should be creamy and spreadable, not too dry and not too runny. Let the mix sit for a few minutes before applying it to the floor. Using a notched trowel, spread the adhesive evenly onto a small section of the floor. Hold the trowel at a 45-degree angle and comb the adhesive to create even ridges. These ridges will allow the tile to sit properly and bond firmly to the surface. Only cover an area you can tile within about 10 to 15 minutes. Otherwise, the adhesive might begin to dry and lose its grip. Now comes the fun part, laying the tiles. Press each tile firmly into the adhesive using a slight twisting motion to ensure full contact. Insert tile spaces between each tile to maintain consistent gaps for grout. Keep checking your lines and use a level to make sure the tiles are flat and even. If a tile sits too high or too low, lift it up and add or remove some adhesive beneath it. This attention to detail will make a huge difference in the final result. As you work across the floor, you may need to adjust your cuts, especially near walls, doorways, or corners. Be patient and take your time. Rushing through this step can lead to misaligned tiles or uneven edges. Once all the tiles are in place, allow them to set for at least 24 hours before walking on them or proceeding to the next step. This curing time is essential to let the adhesive fully bond and harden. After the tiles have set, it's time to fill the joints with grout. Choose a grout color that complements your tiles, whether it's matching or contrasting. Mix the grout to a peanut butter-like consistency, then apply it using a rubber float. Spread the grout diagonally across the tiles to push it deep into the joints. Remove any excess grout by holding the float at a 45-degree angle and wiping it away. Once the grout starts to dry, usually after 15 to 20 minutes, use a damp sponge to clean the surface of the tiles and shape the grout lines. Rinse the sponge frequently and wipe gently to avoid pulling grout out of the joints. Don't let grout sit too long or it will harden on the tile surface, making it much harder to clean. After the grout has cured, usually within 24 to 48 hours, polish the tiles with a clean, dry cloth to remove any haze. If needed, apply a grout sealer to protect the joints from moisture and stains, especially in bathrooms or kitchens. At this point, you should have a beautifully tiled floor that looks clean, professional, and durable. You did all the hard work, from prep and planning to cutting and laying to grouting and cleaning. With patience and the right technique, anyone can achieve professional level results. Before wrapping up, here are a few final tips. Always work in small sections and never rush. Keep your tools clean and organized. Use high-quality materials for the best results. And most importantly, take pride in your work. Thank you for watching this detailed guide on how to cut and install floor tiles like a pro. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to our channel, liking the video, and leaving a comment to let us know how your tile project is going. We're here to help you every step of the way. Until next time, stay safe, stay creative, and keep building. Now that you've completed the main process of tiling and grouting, let's talk about the finishing touches and important maintenance tips that will truly make your floor look like it was done by a skilled professional. Let's start with edge finishing. Once your tiles are set and grouted, take a close look at the edges, especially where the tiles meet walls, baseboards, or fixtures. If you left expansion gaps around the perimeter, which you absolutely should, it's time to fill them with flexible caulk. This helps accommodate natural movement in the building and prevents the tiles from cracking or lifting later. Use a silicone-based or color-matched caulk and apply it smoothly using a caulking gun. For external corners or exposed edges, you can use metal or PVC trim pieces for a clean, elegant finish. Now, let's talk about cleaning up your tools and workspace. Never leave adhesive or grout to dry on your tools. They will harden and ruin your equipment. Use warm water and a stiff brush to clean trowels, buckets, sponges, and floats immediately after use. Wipe down your tile surface carefully and remove any remaining grout haze using a commercial haze remover or a gentle vinegar solution, depending on your tile type. Always test a small area first before applying any chemical cleaner. Once the floor is clean and dry, it's time to inspect your work. Walk across the floor slowly, feeling for any uneven tiles or loose spots. Gently tap the surface and listen for hollow sounds, which may indicate tiles that didn't adhere properly. It's better to spot and fix these issues now than wait until problems appear months later. If everything is solid and level, congratulations, you've done a professional grade job. Now let's move on to sealing and protecting your tiles, especially if you used natural stone like travertine, marble, or porous ceramic. A good tile sealer will protect the surface from stains, moisture, and wear. Use a soft applicator or a roller to apply the sealer evenly. Wait the recommended time and then buff the tiles gently. For grout lines, especially light-colored ones, applying a grout sealer is highly recommended to prevent discoloration and mold growth. As we wrap up this tutorial, it's important to understand that tile installation is more than just putting pieces on the floor. It's an art that combines precision, patience, and planning. Every step you took, from measuring, cutting, leveling, spacing to sealing, contributes to the final result. The more carefully and thoughtfully you work, the better your floor will look and perform. Here are a few extra pro tips before we finish. When cutting tiles around obstacles like door frames or pipes, use a cardboard template to trace the shape first. It saves time and avoids mistakes. Always mix tiles from multiple boxes to blend any shade differences. If you're working in a large room, consider leaving an expansion joint every few meters to prevent buckling due to temperature changes. If tiling over radiant heating systems, make sure the adhesive is rated for high temperatures. Never skip the 24-hour drying and curing times. Rushing this step can undo all your hard work. Finally, remember this. Even the best tile job in the world won't look great if it's not maintained properly. Sweep regularly to prevent dirt from scratching the surface. Use mild cleaners designed for tile and avoid harsh chemicals that can damage the grout or sealant. Wipe up spills quickly and reapply grout sealer every year or two to keep your floor looking brand new. Tile flooring is durable, elegant and timeless. And with the right knowledge, it's something you can do yourself. So, whether you're updating your kitchen, remodeling a bathroom, or laying tiles in your entryway, we hope this guide has given you